There are memorials and vigils in both states for the lives lost. But what is being done to prevent another mass shooting?
CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez is here with more on that part of the story. Hazel.
Alex and Maurice, today President Trump condemned the two gunmen from this weekend's shootings and denounced racism and white supremacy. He urged the nation to come together to end the violence, but stopped short of calling for tougher gun laws to prevent future shootings. Democratic lawmakers are calling him out.
We are outraged and sickened by this monstrous evil.
President Trump voiced disgust and anger over the shootings in El Paso and Dayton. He called for America to come together to end the violence.
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America.
The president vowed to respond to the mass shooting epidemic with urgent resolve. He's directing the Department of Justice to work with social media companies to develop tools to detect potential mass shooters before they strike, partly blaming the rise in mass shootings on the internet, violent video games, and mental health issues.
Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun.
FBI studies show only 25% of active shooters were diagnosed with mental illness. Shooters typically aren't loners. 27% had significant online interaction, many leaving the blueprint for their alleged actions on social media.
What we found is that all of the shooters in our study certainly planned and prepared. Many shooters spent almost 2 years planning their attack.
The president made no mention on a push for stricter gun laws in his speech, despite posting on Twitter a few hours earlier, Republicans and Democrats must come together and get strong background checks. In February, the House passed a bill requiring background checks on all gun sales and transfers, but it's been in limbo awaiting a Senate vote. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized the president for backing off his earlier call for tougher background checks, saying when he can't talk about guns when he talks about gun violence, it shows the president remains prisoner to the gun lobby and the NRA. President Trump did call for red flag laws to take guns out of the wrong hands.
We must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process.
Following the president's order, the Department of Justice is also looking into a proposed law that would make mass shootings a capital crime, making the gunman eligible for the death penalty.